How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. There was just a multi-trillion-dollar leak from China, a massive bomb that's going to go off, so to speak. And it may be pumping Bitcoin here very soon. I want to go through that. We have this coming from Forbes here today. We also have some other news that we have to cover in the crypto market, from Sui to Solana to Total 2. We'll have to pay attention to a lot right now. Bitcoin is pushing up. You can see Bitcoin's over 100,000. Pretty green day here today, going from 98.6 all the way up to 101. If you want to trade crypto, there's a link to Blofin underneath the video. I've been saying this for a long time, since we were much lower. I'm talking before this push up to 73,000. I've been talking about trading crypto because I think you can go long and make a lot of money. But of course, you have to do your own due diligence. There is a significant amount of risk, but also a significant amount of upside too if you do this correctly. And as you can see, we are moving up into the right. I'd be paying attention to this $104,000 mark, 105,000. This is where we saw some previous resistance. This is also where we would flip this trend line. So we had held this as support for a while, then flipped it into resistance. But if we were going to do it around the next few days, if we're going to get back up there, it would be around 105,000. So pay attention to that level. Right now, it's going to be fun to watch. Again, there's a link to Blofin underneath the video. We have a couple giveaways. You can become a whale. So depending on how much you trade, you unlock more and more of this USDT pool. And we have a spinny wheel as well, where you get some free Bitcoin and Solana. So definitely check out that link underneath the video, and let's get into it. So right now, market looks green. This obviously is crypto bubbles. SPX up 20%, Injective up 13.6, A1 16Z or AI 16Z up 13%. Pretty much the whole market looks pretty green. Bitcoin's doing well. You can see a decent number of liquidations short today, 110 million versus 67 million long. So we are seeing the market push up a little bit. Total 2 is at a very interesting point. Total 2 obviously is the crypto market minus Bitcoin. We've been in this downtrending channel, and it looks like we're breaking out. We're like right on the precipice. I wouldn't say that this is confirmed yet, but if we make another big move up, another couple, even just a couple tens of billions would push us up, I think, well above the line. And then even if we come back down and test it and bounce off of it again, I think it'd be extremely bullish. So you can see, like, altcoins are starting to move a bit. Actually, let's look at BTC.D as well. Bitcoin's moving up too. So you can see big swings on Bitcoin dominance recently. A little bit of an increase over the last couple days as Bitcoin's done fairly well over the weekend. MicroStrategy has acquired 1,070 Bitcoin for about 101 million at 94,000 per Bitcoin. Now they're at a 40% yield in Q4 alone. This is pretty crazy. Last time I checked, their premium was around 2. Let's actually look at that now with Bitcoin at, let's call it 100,500. We're sitting around, what, $45 billion in market cap? So not bad at all, considering this was a $1 billion company. Sorry, this is how much Bitcoin they hold. Now they're at an $87.5 billion market cap, so let's just divide those out. 87.5 divided by 44.5. It's around a 2x multiple. I actually bought some MSTR today. I sold my Bitcoin miners and put it into MSTR. I feel like they're both leveraged instruments for Bitcoin, but in a bear market, I think MSTR will do much better, even though it is 2x at a 2x premium. But also in a bull market, I think it will do better. I think people will be more excited and pay more for MSTR. I also think that there's a massive side of their business that people aren't looking at, which is the opportunity to become a Bitcoin bank, maybe even make a Bitcoin-backed stablecoin at some point. Michael Saylor has talked about stablecoins recently, so yeah, it's going to be an interesting time to be invested in MSTR over the coming years. But I did rotate some capital, as I said. This is a smaller buy than what we've seen recently. Last week was a pretty small buy as well. I think it was around 200 million. Now it's 100 million. Keep in mind, this was the end of the year. In the beginning of this year, it's kind of tricky at this point, just because earnings are coming up. So we'll continue to monitor this, but I think they're going to re-accelerate their buys here very soon. Publicly listed Kohler acquires 213.43 Bitcoin and achieves a Bitcoin yield of 93.7% year to date. Now holds 430.61 Bitcoin. Let's take a look at this. Kohler Technology Group, sitting around a $900 million market cap right now. So holding 430 Bitcoin. What is that? $4.3 million. So relatively small compared to, $43 million, I think. Still relatively small compared to their market cap, but yeah, up 10% on that news here today. Keep in mind too, the amount of Bitcoin held by corporations has exploded. And we'll get to China here in a second, and countries buying Bitcoin, but I covered this a couple weeks ago, maybe even just a week ago. Corporations have bought so much, and it's hard to remember this because we have very short-term memory, but MSTR had about 190,000 Bitcoin at this time a year ago. Now they're at 447,000. So they've over doubled their position in the last year. Q4 2023, corporations held 263,000 Bitcoin. Now they hold 590,000. So they are stacking a massive amount from quarter to quarter. I mean, just last quarter, they grew 63% from the prior quarter. So we are seeing unprecedented times right now. Like, I know that MSTR didn't buy a lot this week, but keep in mind, like, they are the biggest buyer out there besides maybe iBit, but they are going to probably reaccelerate here very soon, and we have to just zoom out and realize they can have a couple slow weeks. Vivek says, wild speculation, China could have beaten Donald Trump and the US to creating a Bitcoin reserve. It's happening. So let's dig into this a little bit. This was predicted to blow up the Bitcoin price. Okay, we're on the right article. Bitcoin and crypto prices have bounced back this week, with Bitcoin again surging towards 100,000 as the market braces for an Elon Musk earthquake. The Bitcoin price limped into 2025, struggling along with the global stock markets despite wild speculation that China could have beaten Donald Trump and the US to creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Now, what this article actually focuses on is a massive stimulus by China. The People's Bank of China warned fund managers against chasing a bond rally, citing two anonymous sources as expectations soar. China will soon cut interest rates and unleash a round of stimulus to reinvigorate the economy. China's 10 and 30-year government bond yields, which have been inversely correlated to price, obviously, hit record lows this week after the Financial Times reported China's central bank is likely to cut interest rates from the level of 1.5% at an approximate time in 2025. So we actually cover that too. Their bond yields went down 5% in a day, which is just unprecedented. That's huge. The size of ultra-long special government bond funds will be sharply increased this year to intensify and expand the implementation of the two initiatives, which are to spur business development and consumer boosting initiatives. Okay, so they are going to most likely just print a lot of money, create a lot of stimulus, increase the money supply. The country has to ease or it's game over. Even though liquidity will not help, it will boost other markets like Bitcoin as capital continues to flee the country and based on renewed and increasing misguided optimism. Okay, so yeah, they're most likely going to start printing like there's no tomorrow. We already know that there have been stimulus packages that they've announced over the last couple months, but they may also be trying to beat Donald Trump to creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve. We know Russia seems to be doing something similar, going back and forth, allowing miners to mine Bitcoin. But Putin recently said that no one can stop Bitcoin, no one can stop crypto. So pretty interesting words from someone that usually tries to hold a lot of control. So most likely they are investing in buying these cryptos, specifically Bitcoin, and creating that strategic reserve before the US. They can do it probably a little bit faster. You can see Solana looks really good too, kind of following a similar downtrend to Bitcoin, just this slightly lower highs, slightly lower lows, but then broke out back in November, actually right at the time of the election, went all the way up to new all-time highs at 265, came back down, retested this prior resistance and then bounced up. This is very bullish. We're at 222 right now for Solana. Sui also looking really good within a few pennies of breaking all-time highs. This one's just a monster up and to the right pretty consistently. But you have to be ready with Sui for 30% drawdowns. This was an 80% drawdown, I believe. This was an 80% drawdown, 30%, 30%, 30%. So yeah, usually it puts in 3-4 weeks of green candles and then takes a 30% drawdown. So be ready. We could go up to like $6 and then go back down to, $4.50 or something like that, and then back up to $8, $10 or something like that. Sui's just an animal. Again, if you want to trade some of these cryptos, there's a link to Blofin underneath the video. I am long this market. I am very excited for the year to come. Of course, do your own due diligence. There is significant risk in leverage trading. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you all in the next one.